to find this.
Superb.
Bravery up! Bravery up!
Who's this? That looks good in the gray. Anyways,
Hey,
good morning, guys. It's this lovely Sunday. If you notice something different, we're missing 3 other people. Fucking assholes left me alone. So there's no Dragon, there's no Sarah, there's no Amy. It's just Gentleman Jack and my boy Jay.
hey,
How's everything? How you been?
doing all right.
So you had your album release party. When was it? August 31st, right?
I believe it was the 30th.
The 30th. How did that go? I saw a lot. Actually, you brought up a lot of people from our town.
Yeah, to think about it. I mean, I like to promote on like all social platforms, and I started on Facebook. You know how like
Yeah.
Facebook was popular around that time, like late in the 2010s.
Yeah.
A lot of like promotion went through there, and a lot of them pulled up. A lot of the artists pulled up. As a matter of fact, I'm wearing the same sweater of merch that we were promoting that day. So if you look at the back, it's got all the artists that performed that day.
Yeah.
It was a nice full house. It was cool. I wish we had more,
Okay.
but you know, it was my first ever event hosted at an actual venue. The first one was
Okay.
actually hosted in this building on the 3rd floor, and it was easy to fill up. But this one was a challenge, and I'm here for challenges, you know?
Well, yeah. At least. Well, so if people have a background, him and I went to high school together.
Yeah. Actually,
Your brother graduated with my older brother.
yeah.
I think what you were a year under me.
I was a year under you,
Yeah. So it was crazy. Like we were all next to one
and then
another.
your brother was right under that.
Yeah, which is the crazy part.
The whole like
Right.
chain.
Yeah, but thinking about it, like back in high school and like a little bit afterwards, I can't think of a smaller town that had as many artists.
Oh yeah.
We had rappers, rockers, fucking even in the sense of people in plays. Like half the school was in the drama, wanted to be into drama. Like it's crazy. Like
Yeah, do you remember the talent shows? Like they
Yeah.
were always like there was always something new up there. Even someone just freestyling or
which is the crazy part because you're like, I didn't know this guy
Yeah.
can do that.
yeah,
And-
and like you watch it on like you don't even believe it. You watch it on shows. You watch it on these places like a talent show is coming.
Right, like you see some occasion you on YouTube all of a sudden, oh, this talent show cool, and then all of a sudden you're like, you decide to go to your schools, and you're like, wait a minute,
Yeah, every year like they're doing this every year now. Like, what's going on?
which is when did they start that?
I think they started it like while we were there because I don't
07, right? I don't remember anything before 07.
I don't think it started earlier
because I
than
know
that.
08's the year my brother graduated, like, and I don't remember in my freshman year, so it had to be like my sophomore junior year.
You know what's funny? I have like clear like memories of some of that because like my brother was actually an engineer at the time for all the local artists of Richfield Park, which
Yeah.
was really cool. Like to me at that time, like I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, I'm going to the studio and I get to meet a whole bunch of like different artists and I feel like I'm cool, like whatever. But what's interesting is I remember them talking about performing at what are those called? The pep rally.
Yeah.
And that was like the first time I've ever seen like a live performance of artists and this and that. I'm like, oh shoot, like this is awesome. Like they're famous, you know what I mean? And it's so cool. Like they actually brought the school to do something like that, and I see them performing, and I think that also sparked something in me in general, just like to chase production.
Oh,
performing.
that's what I was gonna say. Like
Yeah.
I remember you were always into music, right?
Yeah.
But what made you go into production?
All right, so the story goes like this. I had to put credit onto my brother because he was older than me and he learned how to use a computer first.
Yeah.
So he downloaded a program that we all know very well called Fruity Loops,
Okay.
and I guess it was like out of like that's so cool, like that's my brother doing beats and stuff. And
Yeah.
then out of nowhere, like I really wanted to try it. Like, so one day, I was at one of my family friends' house, and we downloaded the program. We got into it together, and we kept it moving. But I don't think that was like because I wasn't really on the computer at that time, and it doesn't count until you're there, in my opinion, until you're like actually there and you start from scratch. One day I went home and I got on the program myself, and my uncle Carlos used to live with me. He used to sleep in the same room as me. he would come down. He'd be like, "Yo, like you're making beats. Like this is your beat. I made one beat, and I thought it was cool, but it was so repetitive. It was so, like,
Well, think about it, all beats are repetitive, but it repeats after a couple seconds.
but like I mean, I made a difference now. Of course, I was 12 or 13.
Well, no, if you're talking about it, like for real, like with your older brother, the people he hung out with, like along with my brother, for no one who knows, but Tarek, Braulio, and all of them, they were constantly writing. They were constantly making beats for no reason.
Jesse,
Right.
Andy, there was so much more. It was funny, and I would go to their studio in Hackensack, and they would like go and rap, and I'd be sitting in the corner like, "Yo, this is so cool."
So you were just there absorbing, like getting it in,
Yeah.
and just saying. Even though it was like more playful for them, like you see, 2-3 years later, you start going into it, you start doing it yourself,
Yeah.
and now you have your own studio in your house.
Yeah, I know. You know, they kind of left battle scars though too, and it's fun. You know, just you got to talk about it. But you know how when you're young and like they're like it seems like you're not like you don't fit. It's like, yo, they're rappers, but I can't play my part. Like they'll never use one of my beats. They're too cool. You know, that kind of put a battery on my back in a way because like later on, it's like. It made me want to get in front of the microphone. Like it was like they held it against you. You know what I mean? Like it's like you, like they, not that they did it on purpose, but I know we're all young. You know, we all want to.
At that time, I feel like that's a crutch you put on yourself. Like all you had to do was put that beat that you thought was fire at 12. Be like, hey, can you guys do anything with this?
It's true, but it's
it also made you want to like, all right, now you have to be able to produce a beat for them.
Exactly.
You have to be able to out rap them, out perform them, and now look at you.
I mean, I'm not out anything. I think I still think some of their bars are crazy.
Oh yeah,
they were really good at writing at that too. I was always around them because they were like my brother's best friends.
Yeah,
and when you're young, we're all best friends, you know. And we're still friends now, obviously.
Gotcha.
But they don't do music anymore, and I was just like,
it's a waste.
It's like no,
not a waste, but like what you see in some people that do make it big or do get discovered, you're like. Or at least for me, like I like lyrical stuff. Hence why I listen to your album.
They could have been something great,
right?
But they are something great.
Now, like some of the music that's out now, like it's repetitive.
Yeah,
like I don't need to hear the same line 15 times before you said something different. And I'm like,
that's
right. But once again, like that's me being lyrical. Like I like the lyrics behind it all. Like give me a story. Let me paint the picture so I can see it in my head.
Oh yeah, somebody who was good with that. His name was Jesse. I wish I knew his rap name. I'm not gonna give your last name out though, but he was really good at writing, and that was something that I was always like, yo, like it's so badass. You know what I mean? Like I can't wait to get in the booth and do something like that.
You know who's good at making beats? Remember Billy?
Billy, not by
or
name.
William, tall white kid, really skinny, played basketball.
I'm really good with faces, not names.
Okay.
I wish I knew, like. But
all right, I'll end up looking for it. But anyways, him and his brother. His brother's a musician. He's in Blue Lizard. Have you heard of them?
No.
They're the rock band. It's a completely different forte from what
maybe
you
by
do.
face. You see me the face of the rock band.
Yeah. But like he would always make beats. He had like this little, not a snare. What is it?
A little beat pad.
Yeah. So they would use that. I remember just being around them, like them making beats. I'm like, I always felt intimidated and never wanted to go into music. The only music I would do is play rock band. I'm like, I'm gonna stick to this. I'll play the guitar on that. I'll sing on it.
Who didn't love rock band, bro? That had a little inspiration too. Like literally, I was playing. What was the other game that was besides Rock Band?
Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero. Oh man, and there was some like guitar riffs that I was like, I gotta get this song. Like, you know, Buckethead. You're like, oh my god, this is crazy. Like, somebody played this. Like,
I think that's what made my taste in music expand more because like I was made fun of listening to rock being younger. Right, and then I shied away from it, and then all of a sudden Rock Band comes on, everyone starts listening to it. I'm like, I remember the song, and I'm like, wait, I didn't know they made this song. Yeah. And I just downloaded. I remember I've had every disc from Rock Band 1 to Rock Band 3 or 4. Like I made sure I had every game, every add-on, I even had the dumb SpongeBob add-on.
I remember that.
The best day ever. I was listening to it the other day just cause remembering it.
How funny is that? I actually never knew they had a SpongeBob one, but I do remember all the games like I mean, I'm a big gamer now. Like I like playing video games. In my free time, a lot of people do other things. Like I personally like to spend my time in solace, as they like to say.
Yeah.
But all the other times, I'm with artists and I'm with people and I'm meeting new people.
Yeah.
So it's nice when you're with the one person that you like to spend time with and play something. But just back to the fact on like Rock Band and all that stuff. I remember like only listening to Linkin Park, and that was the farthest I ever got into like that type of genre.
Yeah.
And it was so different for me. You know what I mean? I like rap. I like pop.
Now, was that because of the Jay-Z Linkin Park?
No, I like Linkin Park way before. Before that, they were like, I was like, yo, these guys are awesome. But you know what it is? Like, a lot of the times, in that time of like age, like when I was listening to music, I was very, very critical, and like, you had to have talked about something that could really change my mind, or like really just make me feel like you're talking about truth in a way. And Linkin Park was somebody to do that for me. Like, they always talked about something that was like really pivotal for me at that time, that day and age for me. And it wasn't until then that I started playing, those games, like, because I would have never heard of Buckethead. I would have never heard of The Killers or anybody like, you know what I mean, like that. And those things kind of introduced it for me. And then from there on, I would keep them on my playlist. I would download it. You know what I mean? I'll keep up. I would get into new genres after that. Like, I started listening to Jack Johnson a couple years ago.
Okay.
And, like, he's awesome to me. And another thing, his lyrical prowess is ridiculous. Like, he would say some really, really crazy things that would just make me open my whole, like, train of thought. It's crazy. Along with that, good production. And that's another challenge that I put onto myself. I think everybody should put the challenge onto themselves.
Of course.
In some sort of way. Like, even at this, like, if I was in your position, like, you would want to go and do something greater for yourself to make yourself better, along with the audio production that the guy's doing in there. You know what I mean? So all around, it makes for a good project. And after learning or picking up from my brother, like, oh, look, engineering is a thing. And then I started making beats, and beats was a thing. And then I look at artists, and artists is a thing. It's like, how do I bring that all into one? Because there's so many artists that do it for themselves, by themselves. Education is obviously important, but experience is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Trial and error, which everybody talks about before this becomes very redundant. Trial and error, make sure to get a lot of failures in. Make sure to do all the stuff that you need to learn.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, did you go for any schooling for it? Any other programs? Do you ever take like courses on a certain program when you download it? Schooling
was interesting to me. I started because I was a visual artist. I don't know if you remember, like in high school, I was really into visual arts. I would make a lot of like every time they had the arts festival, which is interesting because we talked about art and I didn't bring that up, but the arts festival is big in our town.
Oh, like, definitely.
It's huge. So every time that would come up, I would always have a project ready for that, And that's how I started off.
It was graphic design you did more,
I was
right?
graphic design. After high school, I went into graphic design.
Got you.
But like a year and a half, half a year in, I just, it wasn't for me. Like, I was loving the drawing classes, but then when I got to the actual graphic design classes and the programs, I was like, this is not.
Where'd you go, Bergen?
I went to, it's in the Art Institute. There you go.
Okay.
The Art Institute of New York.
Okay.
I went there for half a year, and it just wasn't like, I loved all the drawing classes, all of them. Like, I still love drawing till this day.
Yeah.
I love drawing. I love sculpting. I love creating. It's just all in general, and I could still use graphic design till this day. I still use it. Like, I picked up a lot from school. I picked up a lot from college, but half a year in, it wasn't for me. So I wanted to go into business after that. Which it was even shorter now for me, which it is for me, but it just wasn't like at the time. I was very immature, you could say.
Yeah.
But I did do my best. It just wasn't feeling in my heart.
You didn't do your best, or you didn't try your best?
I did do my best.
I'm saying,
but I didn't know enough.
Oh, okay.
So I failed a couple classes.
Okay.
Straight up. I had to go back a couple math classes, take some easier ones, and get up on there. And as I kept progressing and learning math more, I just found something that was for me. Like, I wanted to get into psychology after that, and I didn't want to get into something else. And I took more psychology classes, and I started getting into everything, and nothing was feeding my heart.
Okay.
it's feeding my brain, and I was loving learning all this stuff about humans and emotions. And everything that you needed to know to become more of a complete human. A complete human being. But it just wasn't love for me. So I went straight into visual arts.
Okay.
Right. I went into a sculpting degree, and I got my degree in sculpting. Okay, you got that. I got my degree in sculpting. But during that trial, during that period, I was still making beats. I was still on the program, still making beats, competing with my roommates, rapping, going to parties and freestyling and just having fun with it. And that's like, it never spoke to me. It never really spoke to me until I was like, okay, well, I'm making beats. Let me take a music tech minor. Right? Music technology minor. And I completed the courses, took music science, I learned how to read music and all that stuff. And it is a message that goes out to everybody. That definitely helped in totality of music, learning just the science of it, learning how to read, write.
But the courses that you're saying you were taking, it all, in my opinion, like, conveys back to music. Like you're talking about the psychology of humans. You're talking about what emotions of it. You're talking about visual art. Same thing that goes to the album cover. That goes to if you make a music video. That goes to know how a certain beat, whether a faster pace or a slower pace, how would that make the heart rhythm go forth and put you in certain moods.
It's funny because like at the time you don't realize it. You're like, okay, this is a 1-2 equation that only works for when it works. But in reality, like you can kind of apply almost anything you learned into another field. So as I learned psychology, I'm learning about key, right? Psychology and key go hand in hand because now if I'm playing something in B minor, and let's just say your favorite, like you resonate with the note B, and I play B minor, it's gonna make you even more into the song, as well as sad because it's in a minor tone.
Correct.
And that goes with psychology. Just learn. It's kind of like manipulation, but it's manipulation in a good way. Because, like I said, I wanted to talk about something that can actually change somebody's train of thought.
As I guess, I would recommend for everyone to do this. Like, you were doing all your interests in college, right, and in high school as well, and then until you found your passion. A lot of people do only their interests, and then they stick to something else. Like you did, like you didn't realize at the moment, but everything you put in with the B minor, if you want to make someone sadder in a song, put someone uplifting.
For a quick example, I think something that goes along with that is just like it takes a lot of heart, and it's the reason it takes a lot of heart is because there's been a lot of fear instilled into what we should do.
Correct.
Like even you sitting here doing this is like. That makes you happy. That makes like.
Well, that's the crazy part. I don't know if you remember back in high school. Like I was introverted. I still am. I'm like.
To me, you weren't.
I know everybody, but if nobody's around, you see me to myself in a corner.
Which I completely understood that too. Like I was always like Jack was cool because he's like quiet, but he's like lovable. Like you can go and you talk to this guy, and he's talking to you back.
Yeah, because you know what it is. I don't know. Maybe it's just the way I grew up or the way I am. When someone shows me a passion that they have, I'm like, let me learn more about it. Like after this, after the show, if something comes up that I don't understand, I'll look it up, and then I'll have a full conversation with you after the fact. That's the type of guy I am because I'm like, let me keep it going as much as it can go. And it sometimes hurts when I talk to somebody about their passion or what they consider their passion. I know a little bit of it, but then they can't bounce back to me. I'm like, but this is your love, or what you say is your love. Like every question I have for you so far, or every question I'll probably have for you now or in the future, you're gonna be able to answer to me with like full, like wholeheartedly.
Yeah, but like it's just hard. Like people lose their heart. And that's the fact. They forget that life is fun. I think that's the biggest thing. Like it was so hard for me to make the decision to even leave the first school, and then at that even change my major to something that was something called art. Everybody's in your ear. You're not gonna make money. You're not gonna do this. You're not gonna do that. And that's fear instilled in you by other people that are scared. And I'm not here to bash anybody because fear is something that could be. I can get scared too. Like you can put me in your position, and I'd never done that before. Yeah. But like I said in the beginning, trial and error. It gets redundant. I'm sure you hear this from a lot of speakers and everything, but trial and error and making sure you know you're gonna fail, because I had to fail.
Yeah.
I had to literally fail in order for me to change my major. You know, like when I took some math classes, like I'm just raw facts. I took some math classes and I didn't know what they were talking about, and I was like, what is going on? I'll do my best to do the equations. I could have paid a little more attention in class, but of course, like everybody, you know, but it wouldn't have resonated with me if I didn't go back another class, right? After I took some logic of math classes, I was like, I understand a little bit more. And at that, I understood myself more.
Okay.
Like, I just understood myself more, and I understood that at the end of the day, love is like what drives me to come here in the first place, which is why I went straight into sculpting, why I went straight into visual arts, because at the end of the day, I've always been somebody that loves to create.
Yeah.
Whether it was an audio field or a visual field, I've always loved to create. So my advice to those who are scared, just go and try it.
Well, that's the thing. Like, from what you're talking about, from the fear of it, you took a step back and took the longer route. Like, you went to your logic of math class to then be able to go back to, I don't know. It was like
but not by choice. Like, you know, it's not like I wanted to say, well, I'll take it, because if it was up to me,
but you wanted to keep pushing forward. Whether you had to take you had to take a step back and then take a half step to be able to go take the full step.
100%.
Which a lot of people won't do.
Yeah.
They fear and they go back. For example, for me in graphic design in high school, I think it was 2007 or 2008, they had a Z100 contest to try to make to make a logo for them. I got it to the top 10. I didn't know it. And what's her name? I forgot the teacher.
I know my face.
I know, that's the problem, right?
Brunette hair, like, I know exactly what you're
so she was constantly trying to get me to get stuff in the art festival, but I never thought my stuff was good. I took graphic design in college. I went for the art class. My favorite classes were my charcoal. Well, not even classes. It was charcoal pieces. So anything charcoal I would do. That was my favorite.
Yeah.
Messy, but my favorite. Yeah. Right?
Oh, yeah.
I never thought they were good. Any of my pieces never thought they were good. So my fear, because I didn't like my stuff, I'm like, I'm going to pull away from it. Right? So even though I was doing good in my art classes, like my other classes, I wouldn't go to it because I'm like, I know the stuff, but I don't want to do it. So I'd spend going to my art classes, and then from the days of my other classes, I'd go play chess because it was a logical way of thinking. What's it called? Just meeting people. Like you would have I wouldn't know that this 30-something-year-old guy lost his business that he was running for maybe, I think it was like 15 years. Like, he was 15 when he started his business. He was like 30-something, so more than 15 years. He lost his business, went back to school. That's a beautiful story. Like, at least he's pushing forward from it. How many people do I know that lose something that they start and they don't go back to it?
I'm like, it's just fear, like, and it's scary. Like, I remember being there too. I even remember being there after college. Like, it's like in college, you feel like you're at the top. Like yo, man, like everybody knows you as a producer, and like, you know, like you're making beats, and like I'm going to like an open mic event, and you come back home, or you go, you know, you come out and you're in the real world where the opportunities aren't as easy to get to. If not, they're just not there for you. They're there for somebody else. You know, just getting there and getting the courage to continue afterwards. Like, that's the hardest part. I have a friend of a friend, not gonna name any names, who recently graduated, and I feel like they're going through the same thing. And as much as I tell them, you have to just do it. You got to be a good salesman. Well, just another whole thing is sales. Like, that's a whole nother animal, because like now you have to actually learn how to work it in the field. That's scary in itself. It's because sales, you get so many no's.
Well, that's because I feel a lot of people want to pander to a certain audience, right? Like they actually, no, not even a certain. They want to go with a broad stroke. But
there you go.
I'm like, don't broad stroke it at all. Like, you have your niche, you have your personality. Don't become extroverted when you're introverted. Like, even though you're introverted
people
will come to you.
Introverted is better in terms of salesmanship. And this is important for those who want to continue chugging on, because this might be the wall. This is the biggest wall. Why is salesmanship the biggest wall? Because connecting with another person is the biggest thing you can do on this planet. I mean, unless you want to go hunt down a lion, like, I'm sure that's a lot harder. You know what I mean? Well, you know,
Well, I
with
don't know.
no training.
Some dude paid 50,000 for Cecil the Lion. That's about it.
Yeah, right. Hold down a lion, like I'm saying, like some
like legitimate spear, you go find into the terrain.
Come on, like right? Okay, but sales, you know, in America, that's like hunting down a lion in itself because you're trying to make a living off of going out into the world and making sure people love you. And like you said it clearly, broad strokes. That's wrong to do because now you're not treating people as an individual, or you're not ready to treat people as an individual. You're still stuck in the fear of maybe they're gonna say no or this and that. When in reality, all you need to do is connect with the person in front of you.
Correct.
You know, which that's a tip for everybody on Instagram. Don't just send your, you know what I mean. Say hello first, like you know. Don't just send your music. Say hello, like. I think somebody next to me was reading a book the other day, and they were reading a sales book, and it was literally explaining just that. And they came to me and they started relying into me. And they're like, "Oh, now I understand why you do certain things." You know, like I want to be friends with everybody that comes into my studio.
Correct.
I want to be friends with you first because if not, we're not making good music. This is not going to be a good connection. I'm not going to be able to make you a better person.
Correct.
Outside of a musician. Because in order to be a better anything, you got to be better within yourself, right? Or understand others more, because they can teach you something as well. And that's big to me. And all that, henceforth, is sales, you know? Like, I was selling furniture to learn this.
Yeah.
I was selling electricity to learn this, door to door. Like, I didn't really, like, I got out of school, and it's not like I could have just went and sold my music. I had no idea how.
Correct.
The only ideas I've ever had were the ones that I've seen on TV. Let me make an Instagram post.
Correct.
Let me make a Facebook post and hope people come. Sure, one or two people came, but that's not going to do anything
Correct.
for me, you know?
Well, that's why it kind of upsets me when you see people put these, once again, to use the term, the broad stroke hashtags.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're getting covered by millions of other posts. Like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna don't tell me it's gonna be like for example, I'm not gonna put like, sure, we put hashtag podcast of New Jersey, but I'm not gonna end up going somewhere that I don't belong. I'm not gonna put hashtag fitness in this. We're not talking about fitness in this at all, right?
Yeah, that's a good point
A
too.
lot of people put these hashtags and they hope they get brought into something because I say fitness, they come watch it. They're like, "Oh, I don't like this at all."
Doesn't even matter.
Hey, look, he's late.
Doesn't even matter.
Great entrance. Great entrance. He's like, it don't even matter.
Yeah, so you notice,
People
he
matter.
made it.
I might not be able to stay the whole show.
It's all right, brother. We're here.
They
You're
got me
here
on
now.
call. I'm fucking sweating. Look, my nipples sweating.
You working hard.
I was just like, you know, I'm not gonna do this to them. I'm gonna
Hey.
because it's already been a headache and a half. Oh, okay, I know you guys already started. I'm just gonna do my thing real quick.
Let's give that intro real quick. Let me hear that intro.
You guys already are here, but welcome to the motherfucking shit talkers.
Hey.
It's your boy, the motherfucking Dragon Matt. I'm on call at work right now. I'm sweaty. If you see me sweating, shut your goddamn mouth.
You ran up them stairs,
Okay.
didn't you?
No, dude. I've been changing like 100 tires or some shit today. What's going on, guys? I was listening.
you?
Listening. Hell yeah, you know.
Hey, he's like, I gotta get up here.
Hey, yeah.
He gets the close up.
Get the close up, baby.
Turn it towards him.
Towards him?
Not towards me.
You
Walk on the other side.
Right
get out
there.
of there.
All right. If that phone bings off, I'm gonna have to dip off.
Go
okay?
ahead. Don't worry about it.
I heard you guys was talking about Cecil.
You like Cecil?
Fuck that lion, yo.
Yeah, actually,
that
we're
lion.
going to talk about that, right? We kind of ruined it for every other
Gracias.
like lion hunter that's out there, big game hunter. For the simple fact, if they didn't have these conservation, like it's actually on the conservation that they're doing it, and if they didn't hunt down these older lions, the economy there does not survive. If the animal does not have a value,
So what they do is
and you can't keep it. Like even though they want the big game, they want to keep the skins. That meat gets eaten.
I'm gonna sit. I'm sitting. I'm just letting everybody know. I'm
It
sitting
wouldn't be
over
fair
here.
if it didn't, to be honest.
That's a
Like,
problem.
I'm sitting
But-
over here because I'm a little sweaty and I don't want to stink next to our guest. Jack is not a problem if I stink next to, but just to let everyone know, Cecil could kiss my motherfucking ass, yo. Because if Cecil was running down New Jersey right now, I don't think a lot of you would be like, "Don't kill the lion." They'd be like, "Please save my baby."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And but at
That's
the
a good
same
point.
time, they did, like he said, they do use they okay, let's just say you got an older animal, right? If anybody knows anything about hunting or whatever, let's just say you have an older animal, and if that animal gets past its prime, it can't procreate anymore. Guess what it starts doing? It start killing all the rest of the animals that looks just like it, so it can start having sex with the other women, even though it can't pump out any more babies. Now, you have to murder that animal, use it for the right things, and to save the rest. That's almost like the conversation like kill one, save everyone else.
Yeah, kill one, save 1,000.
That's pretty much what it is for these conservation.
you gotta put the lion in jail.
Yeah. But I don't see none of them over
Put 'em
there
in
helping
jail.
out the kids or the people who lost their arm to that goddamn lion. You know what I'm saying? No, you save the animals. Yeah, you go over there.
Word.
Go give that lion a hug. What?
Listen, if there's something threatening my life, like, you're gonna have to do something about it. Period. So
Murdered,
that's
yeah.
how I'm taking it. Like, you come into my home, like, you come into my home, like,
Come
you
into
can't
my
do that.
backyard. we getting smokes. Yeah, man. I was listening to your music on the way. I was just like,
Yeah?
let me pump it up.
Appreciate it.
You know what I mean?
Awesome.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I do. I really do enjoy it. There's a lot of songs I don't like. I'm a huge
You keep
music
it bug,
critic.
it's okay.
Yeah, you know, it's a lot of music I hate. It's a lot of music I hate, but I try to keep an open mind to all the genres. One thing you'll never get me listening to is bluegrass. I can't fuck with it. I tried. I lived in the South for a little bit. Can't mess with the banjo. That gets annoying after 10 minutes.
That never crossed my mind, but I have to give it.
Yo,
Who
try.
knows?
If you get a good banjo beat and you can make it work, I'll try it. But
Never
if
know.
you don't
There was an episode of what was that? It wasn't Family Guy, but they made the spin-off, the Cleveland show, where Kanye went in and they started doing the whole thing with the
do that. Do that. Go ahead and do that.
You know, right?
that
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I
that's
forgot
how-
what instrument that is, with the whole freaking accordion or something. Like,
What was that?
they were making
Is that the one with the piano on it?
I think so.
The accordion with the piano?
No, I think those are the Spanish accordions. You know what I mean? All I remember is my grandma having one of those. Like, but
Are those Spanish?
Which one?
The accordion with the little piano keys at the bottom. Or the
I
sides
don't
of
remember
it.
that.
Spanish, but they were at my grandma's house.
They grandma. I think it's for folk music,
Yeah, I
isn't
think
it?
that's
a
folk.
folk
Yeah,
music
what they
thing.
did was, I think it was folk music. I forgot what the specific term was. I wish, but that reminds me of the Cleveland show episode. It's just what it reminds me of.
And you guys went into like the different genres of music you like to get into,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
that I never would have gotten into if it wasn't for like certain opportunities just arising. Like,
I was listening to you guys talk about school and things. I'm sorry to jump on.
No, you're good. You're good.
But, you know what I mean? I didn't even say what's up to you.
It's all
You know
good.
what I mean, with that little funky ass bun.
Don't hate.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all looking 20 today.
Yeah,
y'all looking real 20
You
today.
looking jealous right now.
A little bit. I feel like I should grow something out.
Do
Like
it.
maybe I should grow out something.
Just grow
I just
dumpling.
cut this. You know what I'm saying? Now y'all looking worse than me. I remember last week I was like this. Now, you know what I'm saying? So that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. So you went into business, right?
yeah.
You said, "Fuck that." After like what, a year or a few months?
I wanted to, dude. It was the first semester. Like, it was like maybe what is that, half a year for a semester, I guess.
Yeah,
Like,
it's about half a year.
yeah, I went into business for half a year, and I was like, F that. And then I went to psychology for that other half,
and then you was like, "What?"
and then I was like,
Yeah,
that.
fuck that. Too.
And it's not even like fuck that, because I learned some cool stuff.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, yo, this is so cool. But then I like picture myself like, okay, but where am I gonna be sitting? Like, what am I gonna be doing every day? Like sitting
and talking,
and talking.
but
Well,
not.
and I'm
But
like-
no. Barely talking.
But I chose
So-
I chose psychology because I'm like, yo, like I want to talk to change people and make them feel better about
Yeah.
themselves. But I'm like, there's like more involved medicine and this and that, and I'm like, like that's not like that's some of that stuff I really don't agree with too. Like So I'm just like,
Don't
there
they
has
have-
to be a better way or a better form, like in that time of psychology. Like,
Is the psychologist all about sitting down and just listening and
well, then I
talking?
learned about different forms of like therapy and stuff, and music
It-
therapy
it
and all
all
this stuff.
It all depends on who it is, because I know there's some place like for rehab for some people that's therapeutic.
Yeah.
So what they would do is they get someone to be sober. So now sobriety is the one thing. So to then make this person into, I guess, able to go back to that social area, such
Yeah.
as a bar, there's one psychologist that would go with you. You sit there, no beer,
And
no
you guys
alcohol,
talk
nothing.
with each
You
other
just
just to
talk.
get comfortable.
Next time you go there, you have a beer in front of you. Don't touch it. You're not gonna drink it. You're just gonna have the beer in front of you.
That's $1,000 friendship.
Yeah, right.
But that's the thing. That $1,000 friendship can now go to the guy having a beer, 2 beers, end the night.
Yeah.
From there, so you're not an alcoholic, but now you're able to have your social drinking. You're showing that you have power over it.
Yeah.
So same thing with music makes people like
Yeah.
people feel depressed, or for me is go to the gym. Like,
Yeah.
you put on a nice song.
I mean, I get a lot of artists that come in and they're like, "Yo, this is like therapy to me," and
Yeah.
that's like kind of the drive behind why I wanted to go into psychology in the first place, and why I even continue with music, because I'm like, this is in its own form, but in my opinion, I feel like it's a little healthier. Like I can even get you. You might not think you want to do music ever, but let me tell you, you come into my studio one day.
I'ma show up, yo, and then when I drop that mean
When
16,
you drop that mean 16,
Alright,
or,
alright, we're
it's
gonna need
gonna
that
be,
published.
bro, it's even more that you play it in your car. Everybody's like, "Yo, send me the email right now. I gotta bump that in my car."
we coming, yo.
I
Just
gotta
give us
bump
the
that.
invite. We
Like,
show up and sit down and relax.
It can make the difference.
I'm not
Like
gonna-
it can make the difference. It's really just a friendship, and
Yeah.
I said that before. Like it's really just a friendship. Like I love music. You're friends with a musician, and I'm gonna make you love music too.
Right.
If you're my friend.
Right, I get you,
So,
definitely.
yeah, like on top of that, it's just great to see people actually like do healthier things to like get their
Correct.
point across, or just make them feel like they're at home or wanted on this planet.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
a harsh planet because it gets kind of harsh sometimes, bro. A
Gets
lot
harsh.
of fears being instilled into people, and different things happen. But
What's your go-to?
stay strong. Say
What's your
again?
go-to? Like, if let's just say the world's on your back. What's your go-to sound?
My go-to sound.
Yeah, like what
Or
genre?
what makes me sound. Okay.
No.
Okay. My go-to sound.
Yeah.
It would have to be my own music.
So it have to be
It
your own thing.
resonates with me the most. You
Okay.
know,
Of course.
like yeah, and
So
just
do
in
you
general.
say like most of your music is catered to that feeling, or is it? Do you have different?
I think my music just I'm a creator. My music expresses like what I felt that day, but I feel like
okay.
other people might have went through it.
Right,
Like there's a song on my
right.
album called Thotty, like,
Yeah.
and I feel like people have gone
No,
through
feel
similar situations, you
Right,
know.
yeah,
And I got somebody
I
on,
know some thotties.
you know, somebody.
Okay, well, I'll play the music for him if you want me to.
you know. And I've been through negativity. I've been negative to people. Like nobody's perfect, and I've discussed that in my music too. This song called "Pain." You know, like I don't want to discuss. I would love for you guys to listen because maybe it'll resonate with you.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like we got something towards the end. Maybe we could like pop something up.
Well,
real
like I
quick,
told
whatever.
you, like I was fortunate enough to be the first person listening.
Yeah,
to
I
the
was-
album. Like it dropped. I guess it accidentally dropped the night before.
Yeah, well, it dropped. It's funny because like I was like, yeah, I gotta make this drop at exactly 11 p.m. doing an album release. You know, it's gonna be awesome. Jack hits me up in the morning like, I heard your album. It's awesome. I was like, wait, what? You heard it before me? Like, I didn't even know it was out.
That's the thing. Like I told you.
they dropped your album without letting you know?
It's whatever.
What
Like,
happened was I'm assuming through the business of Apple and what was it? YouTube had it.
well, yeah, it's yeah. Like,
You said you wanted to drop it. What was it? I forgot the date, but he wanted midnight.
yeah, it was
Right.
on DistroKid, and you get to pick. Like with certain plans, you get to pick the
Yeah.
time that it drops, but I guess not every
So the
Yeah,
date,
yeah, 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 yeah.
So, so
Yeah, I
the
know
date
they
it
do that with
was,
the
they did
podcast,
it
too.
midnight. That turned that date. I guess for Apple and YouTube, you could have said the next day at midnight. So like,
Well, it
would
wasn't
drop.
supposed to be midnight. It was supposed to be 11.
Oh, okay, 11.
It was at 11 because I was going to perform at 10. So I was like, oh, I'm going to perform right after the performance is done.
Gotcha.
Which that I didn't really get to perform, which is funny because like I performed at the end of the night, but so many artists came in that night and it was such a cool night. Like I just wanted people to keep going up on stage, and I kind of got a little selfless. Everybody was mad at me for that.
Because this is your thing.
Yeah, I know. Everybody was mad at me, and I wish, like, looking back, I'm like, like maybe I should have just taken the time and done that. But
Yeah.
I was like, I was the DJ. I was the
But
doorman. I was the.
This is a- it's a
here's my
tough-
thing.
What's
Here's
going
my
on
thing
inside?
with that is after that day, there were so many people who first time performers.
Oh, yeah.
One of the kids that we went to school with, like he was his first time performing. It lit a fire under his
Oh,
ass
yeah.
again.
Oh man,
And-
and it gets better and better every time. I know
That-
you're talking about his name's Bugs Boogie, guys.
Yes,
Look him up.
exactly.
Bugs.
Right, and I remember him being this kid who liked music, skinny, lanky, like tall, lanky kid, like liking music. Now he finally performs at your show. All you see for the week after first show, passion's back. He's
Yeah,
gonna
man.
start writing again.
He's on a train. He's
And
not
I'm like,
stopping. That fear is not stopping him
I think
anymore.
he performed again like earlier this week or last week somewhere else, and I'm like, that's great. Now you're seeing it. Like he took the first step forward, and now he's going further and further and further. And I'm like,
Right.
oh shit, now.
What's up, man?
Now,
It really is.
because
Cool.
you were selfless that night and decided other people, like how many other people posted up saying they enjoyed the night?
Oh, man, I got so
felt
many-
comfortable.
Like just the next day, they were like, "Yo, like that. It was amazing that night. Like this was awesome. This and that. I had a great time. Like I would not. I don't regret anything really.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody always tells me to go on stage, this and that, and it's like I think about it every now and then. But at the end of the day, like I'm gonna have another event. I'm gonna perform again. Like
Yeah.
you know, I'm gonna you know, at some point just come on by. We're actually thinking about doing something for around the Halloween time in the same,
Cool, we
in
there.
the same venue.
Don't say that. We coming. It's fine.
Yeah, don't come by.
We're
Like,
coming. We're coming. Just send. You know.
yeah, I'll send everything. There's a whole bunch of artists came by. There was some people from 105.1 that came by, started looking at some of the artists. They loved the music.
We're gonna need 4 of those things. Just let you know.
Huh?
We're gonna need 4 of those
We're
things.
ready for it. I got you, man. You get one of the sweaters, and
Yeah,
I'll
I
be even
see.
happier. 'Cause it's all
I'll throw one of them damn things on like I'm with the crew. Like, let me. So let me ask you a question. In your field, do you and seeing what your personality is like, do you try to get more respect from your peers or from your consumers?
My peers are my consumers.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Okay.
Like, it's. I would hate to give any type. I mean, not to say like it's gonna sound like. Don't take it so extreme, but I would hate to give money to somebody that I don't like.
Right. Facts.
Correct.
Got it.
Just straight, I would not want.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they really need it, like you know, there's exceptions with everything. But if I'm not really like understanding what you're gonna do with the money afterwards, or if I'm not really like understanding that you're gonna be a friendly person, if you're not really there for me, I'm not gonna be there for you.
Correct.
So the first thing I always see when I meet a consumer is I'm there for you. So just so you know, I'm there for you. There was somebody that hit me up not too long ago. I'm not gonna name any names, but he got into some stuff where it got serious for him. He owed
Right.
somebody money. It was one of my artists. He's always been a nice little guy. He's always been cool.
Yeah.
He's younger, but you know, when you're young, you get into some stuff. Hit me up. Hey, like something's going on. I need money. Like straight up, I need $100-something, or they're gonna come, and I'm scared they're gonna talk to my mom and do something to my family because they know where I live. Just, you know, things got a little hectic.
Right.
I'd give him the money because it's more than just like a consumer thing.
Right,
like
right.
he's my friend. Like I want to make sure he's okay.
Right.
Like he has to be okay. I don't think I'm ever gonna get paid back.
So do you? So you don't really. So what about the people that you don't meet?
I try and be their friend first. I say hello. How are you?
So like if
Right.
they're listening to your music on like let's just jump out Spotify, you know, check us out on Spotify, right? But let's
Yeah.
just say they're listening. You gotta mute my mic.
Yeah, you gotta get it back on. Yeah. I like his voice. It's all smooth
Oh, okay.
and soft.
Okay. I said,
time.
damn, dude, I'm just trying to do our own try. But yeah, let's just say we've been on spot. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah.
They're listening to you for the first time on Spotify, right? Like, what do you're not too worried about those people,
Well, I'm worried about them, but they haven't reached out to me. So how would I know them?
right? So
You
you're more
know?
worried about your people that's in your circle than more of the people that are outside the circle, just taking in.
I think the people outside
vibe.
will become in the circle because
sooner or later.
sooner or later,
right.
you know. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like I want the movement
So
of
you
love.
want to be able to reach as many people as possible, but bringing them in as your own.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think a lot of people are afraid to reach out. Like the moment they're afraid to say hi or I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
I do like this. I do like this
they're
album.
gonna be like, oh, I'm annoying this person or like you
Yeah.
know, but I think that's the wrong thing to do, and I even think it's wrong to even reach out and just discuss your music outright. Like, why would you care about even if you did hear my song? Why would you care about me if you don't know me? Like, you could say I love your music, and I could be like, awesome. Now spend $40 on my sweater. Are they gonna do that right away? They're gonna maybe think, oh, I don't got $40. Like, I don't really know this guy. I like his song, but I didn't even buy the album. I just streamed it on Spotify. You know,
Right.
like I'd rather hit him up and be like, hey, Marcus, what's up?
Correct.
You know, like forget my music. If you
direct
want to get it
consumer,
one day,
right.
like, okay, cool. I'll
Direct
bring it up
consumer.
too. Like, I'll be like, because you know, I love my music and I love what I do, but that's never what I start with. I think I want to be your friend and show you that there's a friend in me first. 'Cause if I have 1,000 friends and I gotta help each and every one of you out with $1, like, I'm there for you. Like, I'm really there for you.
That's beautiful, man. That's
Like,
beautiful. Let's
100%. And I think that's something that really could make a difference in just about every field. I learned this, like I was saying earlier, I learned this not in music. I learned this in other fields. I was selling electricity. I was selling furniture. I was selling dance classes. And I always thought to myself, like, how would I get to sell furniture? Like, somebody walks in the store, obviously they want something, but they're not gonna necessarily buy it from me. They can go down the store and get it cheaper.
Correct.
You got to connect with the person.
Yeah, you don't know how many times I've left the store because the associate that was helping me didn't even say hi.
Oh, you ain't.
And I'm like, you're not saying hi to me. I'm like, all right, then the first thing you do, like, oh, you want to buy this?
That's the problem.
I'm like, I just walk out. I'm like, no, thank you. I'm like, I let them speak. I'm like, no, I'm good.
You would
We
have
don't
had
need
me
that.
as a salesman, B. I'm gonna tell you right now, you'd have walked out of there with half that place.
Most likely, like, I have no problem with that, right?
I remember I used to work at, whatever. I used to work at Sears, right?
Yeah, man.
And I used to do appliances, kitchen appliances, and what else was it? Kitchen appliances. Let's just say mostly kitchen stoves, refrigerators, whatever. People would be coming in there for TVs, and I'd be like, "Yo, come here, let me show you something real quick."
Yeah, like, you ready? Like,
I used to walk out of there with mad numbers, yo.
But
So,
you gotta connect with the person. You gotta ask them
definitely.
questions. What do they need? What do they want? Like, you really gotta drive the sale down. Unless they're there just for a cheap price and they ready to kick on out of there.
You get a
take
cheap
them-
price of these refrigerators, dog. Like, you came in for a TV. Let me tell you something about the TV. Fuck them TVs. Let's talk about your food, right? Go over there.
Let's talk about your fridge
Yo,
real
I
quick.
had other people. I had other associates that used to be mad at me because my job. I made sure I was in this certain. So it's also I feel this is how I feel like I feel like you need to know the psychology in different areas on how to sell things. I took the refrigerator and stuff, the kitchen stuff, because it was right by the door. You had to see me when you walked in. You had no choice. I mean, I don't care what you came for.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't care what you came for, yo.
Hey guys,
As soon as they pop in, what you need, yo? Like, you know. So it's all about talking. I can understand what the value of talking to the consumer directly, making them into like almost a friend, and then selling them something.
because then they'll come back for more.
Yeah.
Maybe they need a fridge next month, or maybe they need some shoes.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yo, hey, you again? Hey, I'm gonna go get some shoes. And you want the sale, bro? I got you.
What's up?
Like, you know what's
What's
up? Come
happening with
on,
you?
man.
Can't sell those jobs no more. Can't do this no more. I be trying to talk to people. I be ready to punch them in the neck.
You know, speaking of old, I was working at the furniture store, and like I never thought I'd be a singer. I never thought I'd be a performer ever. I thought I would just stick to beats because I had a studio at the time. I opened up my business while I was in school, the Mad Smooth Music, and I was like 20. Got out of school at 20, and then I started working at this furniture store at 21. And like some lady came up to me. I always think of her like she's like. Because I would talk to people and I would be their friend, and they was, you know what I mean? I'd be their friend trying to sell them something, like whatever. But this one lady was always like, you don't belong here, like your voice is. She was like specifically, your voice is too smooth. You should be a singer. And I was like, you're crazy. Like my voice is raspy.
I do have a studio, don't I?
And I'm like, I do have a studio, like I make beats, but you know. Time passed, and I was in the studio one too many days by myself.
How long did it take for that
you thinking about it, that resonating inside you, and you're just like, fuck it, let me just get on it. Let's see what happens.
Oh man, I even did a project for school before like I graduated, and it was supposed to be an album, but I didn't know any artists, so I did it myself, and I used my own beats, and it was just for fun. Like even then, I didn't really think of it as a reality. You know, I was like, this is just a class project. Then I'm in the booth, and I'm like, okay, I'm just doing something for fun. I went to a Christian recording studio for an internship, and I was like, oh, I'm writing these songs for fun, like this and that. And then out of nowhere, I was like, you know, like I'm gonna freestyle something tonight. Went in there.
Why not?
I went in there. It was the first song I ever recorded. It was on my first album, which I'm going to re-release very soon. Because it came off, but I wanted to remix it.
Okay.
And it just I was like, yo, this is kind of cool. Like, and then you know, more and more days and more people would come by and it'd be like, get on this song with me. Like this is a gang called Glenori. They used to come by to my first studio, and that's when I first started. That was like my first feature ever. I think I haven't even released anything. I haven't really made songs, but they were like, let's make a song.
Right.
And that also drove me there, you know? It wasn't until like it was just one day I was like, you know what? Like I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna fail, whatever. Like, you know, I'm gonna make bad music. I'm gonna make good music. I'm gonna hope for the best, and I'm gonna keep making beats. I'm gonna keep striving at everything else. And it's just been moving. It's been moving ever since. But becoming an artist has helped me a lot too, because I work with artists every day in the booth, and I'm out of the booth. I can connect with them now. And like, I know what it feels like to be in there.
Yeah.
I know what it feels like to take things a step further, if need be, if they're still a step below, you know? Like, I know how to get their energy up. I know how to direct them and talk to them the right way in order for them to become the artist that they want to be, fulfill them.
My question is, what was your initial reaction when you first heard your production? Not your beat, like your full production of your song, like
Your own song.
your realization that it comes to like, holy shit, that's mine.
Yeah.
What was that?
You
Like
was
first,
like-
my first off, like what song was that, and then also what, like how did it feel?
It was a
Like,
song called I called it Trunks, but it's on my it was the first video I ever shot. It's on YouTube now, but it's split into 2 songs. It's the first one though. It's called Forget. That's when I was like, yo, this is like awesome. And I brought that beat even more. I got a live saxophone on it, and I just started producing it and making it more. And that was the one that was like, people were like, yo, like, I like this one.
I don't know why saxophones are just popping.
They're like, ooh,
If you're not a player saxophone, you fuck the game up, yo.
I know. Well, I got that on my, I was like, oh,
Change the whole vibe of a room with a sax.
So I didn't know until I started playing the song for people, because I was always like, yo, listen to the song and let me know what you think honestly. Like, you know, I really want to know, because I'm not really an artist yet. I just want to make, you know, I'm just doing it for fun in a way. Doing it for fun and just to like grow, and just because like, you know, I have a studio. Why not try? You gotta use all your tools. But it wasn't until that first song, Forget, that I was like, yo, like, people were like, this is cool. And I have a little sound, like, you know, like.
Yeah.
You can tell that you're an artist because, like, when you're talking about other people's stuff, this is just my visual thing.
Yeah, let me know, bro.
When you talk
I love
about
those
other
either.
people's stuff, you're like, that. But as soon as you start talking about your stuff, you're like, man, I hope people like it. Yo. It's like, just like that. Like, yo, I hate this.
It really was like
so
that, man.
was their initial reactions that made you like?
It was their
like,
initial reaction that made me want to like go even harder, and like, cause I was like, this is cool, and I was like, I'll release it. Like, maybe I will, maybe I won't. I didn't know how. I really wanted to learn how to release too.
How long it took you
know?
to release it?
Dude, it took me like a whole year.
Yeah.
This album itself takes me a whole another year and a half. Like, I work on so many other people's music, so many other people's songs.
Do you
that,
think
like,
if you wasn't? I'm sorry to cut you off. Do you think if you was? I'm sorry, I'm talking really fast.
No, you're okay.
You think if you were not working on anyone else's songs, would it still take a year?
No, it wouldn't.
How long you think it would take?
It would be like fast. It would be like
So-
2 months.
So you'd rather just get it out as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So you
But
won't have to
it's
think about it.
hard because I'll do something Sunday and then like I'm booked every other day, and it's like I'll try and go down there and do it, and it's like it's not there yet.
Right,
Sometimes you really got to sit back and listen to the song too. So some songs really did take a while. Like there were songs that I didn't come up with the idea till months later, but who knows, if I was listening to it more often earlier, I could have maybe done it faster.
Right.
But I can get the songs done pretty quick. My process in the studio, it gets done within the night, at least like 60-70% through. Then the next time I go in there, it gets up to like 80. Next time I go in there, it gets up to 90. Next time 95. Next time
Right.
98. And then it just from 98, it's hard to get to 100.
Right,
It's
right.
like okay, 0.1,
Yeah, you're
0.2,
looking for the
0.3.
mistakes and you're already catching
all
on. You're
the
like,
things.
yeah.
So
I
that's
get
really
it.
what takes the most. I think because I'm doing the engineering, I'm also doing the production.
Right.
It takes a lot longer. And I'm also mixing for other people and doing things for other people. So it takes a lot longer there too. Henceforth, none of these people are signed to me. I don't think I'm going to sign anybody or anything like that. Maybe one day in the future. I don't know.
Why not?
I don't know. I feel like the independence is more like soothing for me and more like for you to say, you know what, I didn't sign to anybody and I made like I got 100 million streams and we did the song together is like, yo, that's awesome. Like,
Right,
keep
right,
it up
right,
and do
right.
that for yourself, you know. For me to take over into a record label, I don't even see myself making music anymore after that. But
Right.
then again, I don't have any hirees yet. I don't have any employees, so
Now, is that
maybe
because you don't want any right
No.
now? Or?
just because I don't have a sufficient space.
Oh, okay.
I do have a space for a studio, but I need something more comfortable for like a whole field of work. I started looking into some engineers, and they're dope. And I think I will keep them on board. But with an extra engineer, you need an extra studio.
Right.
You know, so it's all a process, a slow moving process. But I'm moving. You know, I'm moving.
You're moving at your own pace.
Moving at my pace that I could. But I'm having a lot of fun with it.
That's
I'm having a lot of
what's
fun.
important, man. That's
And
really important.
I'm happy that I chose. I'm happy, you know. We were talking about that conversation earlier, and my heart wasn't in the right place with any of my other careers. It just wasn't there, and it wasn't until now that I realized, okay, it's a good thing. I definitely stuck to what I love, because it's hard at first. Like you're sitting down there and you're like, dude, like I gotta pay my school loans. Like I owe a lot of money. I owed $150,000 in total when I got out of school. And I was like, that's nothing when I'm in school. I'm like, oh, I could probably make that in like a year or 2 years. Like,
Yeah,
you don't
it's
really
just
understand
crazy.
money like that, you know? But then you get out, you're like, oh, shoot. Like, I'm not going to pay this off for another like 30 years.
Right.
But now it's looking like less and less as I further get into the field that I love. Like, like the time is cutting off, and I see that. You know, you see the results, the fruits of your labor. But it was hard because you have to make that decision first. That decision is just a quick switch of mind state, and that's the hardest thing you can do. You know, I don't know if you've ever been like rock climbing or ever done any extreme
Yeah.
sports. But do you remember your first time like rock climbing? Or
Like,
that
shaky.
adrenaline, you don't even want to take that
you
first
don't want to take
grip,
that
nah.
first grip.
Yeah,
Like you're like, oh, and then even worse is when you're like halfway up the thing and you're looking down. Like, can I even
That's
make
what-
another one?
You know
like,
what?
You ever went rock
oh
climbing?
my
Yeah,
God.
for me, I don't think the looking down part is because I'm good with heights. The thing is, once my forearms start being on fire, I'm like,
Something you're like,
can
am
I
I keep it up?
Yeah, I'm like, if you're free climbing, all right, that's even scarier. But like, if you have the ropes and whatnot, you're like, all right, the ropes can't support me, but at the same time, like, I'm already halfway through here.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah,
fine,
I gotta
fine,
go, like-
fine. I can get to 50% of this climb at 100%, but can I get to 100% with only 50% strive?
Yeah.
Like I want to be able to push that till I get there because in the beginning it's all fun
Yeah.
games. Like that's easy.
Oh, yeah.
It's once you get to that threshold where your arms are on fire.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, what do I do at this point?
But even being on the other side of that, like it's just crazy, like visualizing, because I even had my heart race, and I wasn't even climbing. I was holding the rope, making sure the dude didn't fall. You know? I'm like,
He was
I'm
like, oh, I
had
got
this
somebody's
guy's
life
in my hand. Exactly. Oh my, like, and that's another, like, it just is nerve wracking. Like, but at the end of the day, you can do it. Like, I've seen girls that are 50 pounds lighter, 100 pounds lighter than me, hold me up. Like,
Yeah.
they're like, you better complete this climb. Like, they're not gonna drop me, but they can do it. But you know, the fear of just like saying, like, I gotta go to that, like that's a whole nother step in itself. Then again, like you walk around this whole wall and like, there's harder obstacles.
Yeah.
You know, there's like harder walls, and some of them take real skill. Like some of them take more than just the heart.
You know, the one thing I'm always afraid of for the rock climb is when you hit that like 45-degree wall where
Yeah.
like it's like right there. You're like,
Nah, son.
I can't do that.
I don't like that part.
Get me back, get me back to that 15-degree wall where it's barely coming out.
Right. I
But
like
that's the
that.
part we all want to get to in like
Yeah.
in our own respective
Yeah,
fields,
definitely.
Like we want to be the cool guy to say, "Yo, that guy did that." Like that's the guy that did that. Like,
Right?
That's crazy.
My first rock climbing experience, I got onto like, I wasn't even thinking about it. I got right to the middle, and then I realized I'm rock climbing.
Yeah, you're like, yo.
And then I'm like, my left leg was like, oh, so we don't know how to stop moving. I was like, I wasn't scared to fall. It was the realization, like, oh shit, you're up here already.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my god, yo. But yeah,
That's
definitely.
scary too. Like
Yeah.
I feel like that was the feeling I would probably have had when I did my album release party.
Right.
It was like, are people gonna come? Like, am I like, what is the point of this? Like,
Yeah.
oh my, like,
How do you handle like all the anxiety and pressure and things like that when it comes down to these album releases,
So,
all these different clients?
I
all
never
this-
rely on myself ever. Like I rely on myself to do things, but mentally I don't.
Right.
I'm a flawed person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm flawed. Like I get scared. What else? Like I curse. Like there's so many things
Right,
that's
right.
wrong with me, just me. So I don't really count on myself for inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
I do count on like not to get. I'm not religious. I'm very spiritual. I count on Jesus and I count on God. Like I really ask them for the strength, and I've always talked to them. I've always had a close connection with their existence.
Uh-huh.
And that's really what brings me to do a lot of things or continue. Because when I count on myself, I'll make the mistake sometimes, unless I've learned. But the initial time, if I don't know what I'm doing, like the fear could easily drive me to make the mistake and not want to do it, or wait till I ask somebody that knows. But when will that ever come? You know, like you got to go and take the step forth, and you got to believe in something sometimes higher than yourself that can give you the strength to do that. Because there's been a lot of times where I haven't believed in myself, even in just regular sales. Like I would have to go door to door and sell electricity. That was my hardest sales job because I was going door to door. You get that door shut in your face, you never want to come back, right?
Correct.
I was there for a week, so I didn't come back. But I was there for the week. I would wake up like I still got to go 8 a.m. Go there and go through. The only reason I didn't go back is because the studio started picking up, and I was like, okay, good, like this is like better. But you know, I was going door to door, and I had to get those sales in, and it wasn't like till I had to have. I was sitting in my car, like, yo, I can't get out of the car. Like, I don't want to go knock on some random person's door. Ended up still leaving with like 4 or 5 sales that night, you know, just because I got up, I prayed to myself, prayed to God, and I was like, I got to do this, and just give me the strength to like. To get through it.
Right.
It's scary. Like I'm selling electricity. People think I'm freaking gonna rob them like at their door. Like I'm in the middle of
Oh no.
you know.
I know that feeling, babe.
So that's something that definitely helped me. If I were to, if even just releasing music, like I didn't think it was good till it's out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So even then, I'm like, yo, like just hope, pray to God it's okay.
Wow.
Like hope it's good.
My brother's a musician, and he was like, soon as he's done with the music, he hates it. He's like, dude, I don't care what it is. He was like, I might think it's fire. He was like, but soon as I'm finished and it's out, he's like, I don't even like it no more. He was like, because I guess you're doing it so many times. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the process.
I get really critical with music because sometimes like I can't. I mean, I do everything myself, but I could, but I also can't. Like
Right.
there's people that do things better than me, you know. And with that, like sometimes other things can bring you down in music, which is why I stress a lot. What I've been doing the most is mixing and engineering and producing. I stress that the most to a lot of my artists. It's like make sure your mix and your production is right, because you might hate the song afterwards, but you could also come into the studio with something that was half-assed in a way, but the producer and the engineer is gonna chop up that beat so crazy that like it just becomes something else. If you guys check out my page, it's called Mad Smooth Mixes on Instagram. Like you can see a lot of new artists and just like how their song becomes this complete work of art at the end. But if you were in the studio with me and you were in the booth and you heard something before I even touched it,
He was like, that shit was trash.
yeah, they might hate their song. I've had artists that come from, you know, high quality studios in New York, and they're like, I hate the song that he did. But I'm like, what do you mean? You just paid $150 an hour. Like, what? How do you hate something like that? And there's just more to it.
Right.
You know, there's more to the music too. And that's something that my friendship is gonna give you too. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Like if that doesn't sound that good and I know I can do a better job, I'll let you know.
Right.
I think that's important. You know, like tell him get back in the studio with the right person, maybe.
Right.
You know,
No,
like
no,
that
no.
can
He-
also go
yeah,
in.
he
like-
used. Don't get me wrong. His songs is hot. It is, him. He said he did it so many times. Like he had redo the verse so
Yeah.
many times. He's just like, I'm pretty much sick of it. But he was like, not that he don't like it. Like it.
I know,
just,
I
he
feel
just-
that.
Yeah, he's just pretty much sick of it. At the time.
I could feel that too. That's another good point of view. Like sometimes you just hear it so many times,
Yeah.
but it's always fresh to somebody. I tell that to
Yeah.
people in my studio.
Yeah, it's true.
It's new to somebody. It's new to somebody. Like me and my wife, my girlfriend at the time, like we listened to the song. The song that she's on is called Herself. So
She's an
many
artist.
times, like she's an artist. Yeah, she's also an artist. Her name's Melissa Madison. She also has a YouTube channel.
Melissa Madison.
Go ahead and subscribe, guys. Like, subscribe, all that stuff.
That's what I'm talking about, my man.
It's good stuff
You're
too.
gonna get those brownie points where you get
Right, yeah,
home.
get 'em in there.
Two things. I like it.
But now her friends listening to it, they're like, I love this song, but
Right.
like we barely listen to it now.
Right.
Like, we barely listen. So that's something to think
Yeah,
about. It's
okay.
new to somebody. Don't give up on it.
Right.
My guy Jers, shout out Juan Burgundy. He's like on Instagram right now. I made this song when I was 14. What do y'all think about it? I'm like, yo, 14? Like, yeah, like, it's hot. It's fine.
Which actually brings it back. Do you still have that beat that you made at like 12, 13 years old?
So it's crazy because like I think it was like it's.
Is that your original beat?
So check this out. I want to find out a way to get these beats. So I think if you look up, I think it's OJ Productions on not Facebook. What came before Facebook?
MySpace?
MySpace,
Oh
bro.
no!
It's up there.
Is it?
And I was listening like, yo, these beats are fire. Like, I made this. Like, this is
You
crazy.
can't rip it?
Well, I don't know how. I don't think I ever even attempted it, but I'm always like, yo, like, it's still there. And I remember listening to it, like, so that beat's probably still there.
You're saying
like,
OJ Production.
OJ Productions.
I'm gonna see if I
On
can go
MySpace.
check it later.
Yo, they be on me, yo. They knew I'm in Clifton. They sent me something right here. They was on it, yo. They not playing no games with me, yo. I gotta run through this whole week.
That's crazy.
This is the week. They can suck it after this week, yo, because they can kill themselves.
For sure. I'm gonna check that out to see if I can get it off of MySpace because
It should be, it's up there, though, which is funny. So, like, and like, I was like, yo, like, I listened to it and I'm like, yo, I made this. Like, this is crazy because some of them are more intricate than the beats I make nowadays. Like, I was really like moving the beats forward.
Right.
Like, oh, bass line kept moving and the drums kept advancing and it just kept moving. I was like, yo, like, this is crazy. Like,
for your beats on average, like how many layers would you use? You always just vary between.
like it's like I think of my beats like how I make my sculptures. It just happens. Like I just put my hands on the paper or on the board or whatever, and I just create from there up, and then it becomes the song. You know, like it's not like I wrote something before and made a beat to it.
Yeah.
It's like literally I'm gonna sculpt in a sound field now.
Gotcha.
You know, like I'm gonna make a drawing in sound. I'm gonna like start with this note, and then I'm like, okay, well I'm gonna look through instruments. I'm gonna put this one down, and I'm gonna do this one.
Yeah.
But through music, like I've learned different ways to make the process quicker in a way. Like I'll be like, okay, now I need a synth, and now I need a bass, and now I need hi hats, and now like I've been able to make it more
Yeah.
specific. But at the end of the day, it's like it starts from zero. And it's just like a field. Like I'll just throw things into there. That's why it could take a year for the song to be done. I've had songs that I've been working on for a year, but they never made any of the albums because they're like at 80 still. I still got to throw more into there. I got to find the right piece of material to
Have
throw
you
back into
ever
there.
seen like even though it's the same beat, it's allowing a certain layer to come in first before another that changes the whole dynamic of it, even though in the end it's the same beat.
There's no order. Like I guess there's no order. Like I'll stack up a whole bunch of instruments and then I'll also subtract and then I'll
Yeah.
also throw them in later and like there's no order to it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I
It
was gonna
just-
say like I know sometimes like if you have a snare drum at one point, all of a sudden you hear a cymbal, right? Like, but if you hear the cymbal first and then the snare drum, like even though it's just two similar beats or two similar
Dude,
the
there's no
entire
order
time,
with-
like it
now with-
switches the whole dynamic.
Yeah, with mine there's no order to it. Like I mean obviously I stay in key and I stay in tempo, which are
Okay.
two most important things.
Okay.
But
I'm about to
at the
say,
end
I
of
was
the
like,
day-
I was just listening to it, but not.
But there's no,
So
yeah, I stay in
quarter,
key, stay in
man.
tempo. But
Yeah.
but in order for me to actually progress in that way that I did in the song, I had to tell myself there's no order. I had to tell myself, okay, whatever I play next, I'm going to add that into it as a verse. So sometimes I'll even go and I think let's see, a good example of that was on the same album. I want to say it's dang. Like, okay, here's two contrasts. Pain. If you listen to Pain, it's like a very hip hop song where it's kind of repetitive in terms of the main instrument. It's like a synth that keeps going.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time you get to the end of the song, you hear strings and you hear a whole bunch of different things. I didn't know I was gonna add that till I got there, right? Till I actually stretched out the song, the repetitiveness, 4 minutes, and did that. But then on the other side, there's a song This is I can't remember my song names. You see, I'm good with faces but not names. It's funny. Like,
all
I'll tell you the
good.
lyrics.
Same
And
way.
I know. Like, so there's a song that I literally played. I just played the melody, just kept playing the song for the minute and a half. You know, thank you. That helps a lot. That does help a lot.
What Jack did,
It
he
was
put
Over
some
You.
music
Boom,
in
there
front
it
of
is. Yeah, Jack just put the song in front of me.
We're gonna play. He's here.
It's
he gives us the
original
okay.
beat. This is all original.
Yeah,
So
if
it's
as long as he
all-
gives it okay.
Yeah, you guys can play it.
Is there?
Cool.
I don't have the adapter for the Apple.
Well, either way, what I did was I would play the song like the minute through. I'd just play a piano melody, and then
Gotcha.
from there I would add on top of it, and like 30 seconds of the way through, let me add some of this, and then this and that. It was a lot of it. It was a whole
So
different
you
process.
do it like, so you listen to the song and then play the melody as the person or as you
no,
hear
I
the
just
song?
I just walk up to my
'Cause,
keyboard and play the melody.
It sounds like I was listening to another artist, Tech Nine.
okay.
Yeah, and he says he doesn't even write the song. He kind of goes by what he wants the melody to sound like. So he'll be like, dun, 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 dun. And then he'll be like, he'll try to match that in some way.
That happens more when my
Yeah,
lyrics
man.
come.
Yeah,
But
okay,
when
okay.
the
So you
beat-
don't match with the lyrics, how the rhythm of the lyrics
for the
are. You
beat,
just kinda-
it's literally a start from scratch thing. Like, I get up there, I don't know what I'm doing,
Oh, so
I
you
don't
just
know
going.
anything, and I just go.
That's probably
and
the
I make
best
the
way
song.
though.
Yeah,
'Cause
like
unless- if they're all up in your head and you can
I
flow
learned
it.
that from art, from being in my sculpting,
Yeah.
and from visual arts. It's like I don't want to follow another process. I think procedure is very important to what the final product is.
Right.
If I follow a procedure, it might come out the same way. Like if I want to say, okay, let me, I explain this to my artist. If I want to freestyle a beat, you can kind of tell. You like listen to the song, like you listen to the song and you're like, okay, this guy kind of freestyled it. You can kind of tell, but then you could also tell when a dude wrote it. And then sometimes it's hard to tell. Of course, like there's exceptions, but if you want that type of sound, follow that type of procedure.
All right.
You know?
So it is okay. Wow, we're almost close to time anyway. So, we could start. Yeah, you can throw it up now. You can throw it up now. Before we throw it up, I'm just gonna because I'm gonna have to run out of here. Everybody, thanks for. I'm sorry, man. I have to. I'm
No,
doing
man,
a lot
I'm
of
glad
work,
you came
but
on
definitely,
here, brother.
definitely give us the stuff for because we're gonna come to a show.
Oh yeah,
No, we're
that's
coming.
awesome.
We're
Yeah,
coming.
I'm
So
here.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna play a little bit of his music. We're going to let you guys kind of vibe out with it here. Jack's gonna finish off. He's gonna close us out today. Daddy working. So that's pretty much what's going on right now. Let me put myself in route. Pretend I'm in my car driving. I just did that.
There you
All
go.
right. So, make sure you keep your eye on his face because we are gonna have, if you don't mind, we're gonna have you again. Awesome.
I would love to come in here. It's
awesome. We have a lot of things coming up. Also, next week is very important that you guys check us out. We have an announcement next week. Like, share, subscribe. Jack's gonna end this. We're gonna play some music. Guys, finish up and. Dude, I'm happy you came
Yeah.
by. I know we kept bumping
I know,
schedules,
it
dude.
wasn't even you. It wasn't
Yeah.
even me. Like it would happen. Like
Yeah,
I
it
was
was
like, oh
weird.
dude, I have a DJ. I'll do this. I gotta.
The first one was annoying because I'm looking at the schedule and I'm like, there's no goddamn way I gave him a Friday date for a Sunday podcast. I'm like, why am I? And then you're like, yeah, I can't make it on Friday. I'm like, wait, who said Friday? And I had to go back and I was like, I definitely remember looking at the schedule talking to this guy. And that's why even Jack called me. He was like,
No,
dude,
it wasn't even that. No, it wasn't that. I missed the Friday. I was like, oh no, I missed
Believe
it.
it
Was
or
on
not, I was
Friday.
actually
and you were
happy
like,
that you missed it because
wasn't
I wasn't exist in the first place. So you know how he was gonna do it. We was gonna have to sit in the car and talk in the car because there was no way hell was coming
podcast
up
on
there.
the phone.
Yo,
Hey, guys.
listen, I did that before. There's a few podcasts up there. If you want to check out the real shit
There you
talking.
go.
There's the talking shit with the dragon in the car. That will be coming back soon. But again, there's a whole bunch of conversations that we're gonna have next week. Thank you, my boy.
I'll see
you.
ya.
You always just call me when you finish.
Gotcha.
I'm out.
Your brother, drive safe, man. You know what's up, man.
Also, fuck these people who can't. If you're a grown man and you're not changing fucking tire and you got your fucking family on the side of the road, go stab yourself with a pen. Fucking ridiculous. Goddamn 600-pound people can't change a motherfucking tire. Got their whole little baby on the side of the road. It's like 90 degrees outside. The baby's dying because you can't change the tire.
The exit.
Can you tell he likes his job?
I mean,
That's a passionate job,
yeah,
right there.
that's passionate. There's a lot of passion right there. You can tell. Walking
That's
out.
funny.
Oh man.
All right, so this was a song you were describing where the complete
Yeah,
difference in
where
beat.
I played more than I repeated. Like it's different procedures for each song. Like I wouldn't have gotten the song that you're playing or any song
Yeah.
that you choose on there if I didn't choose a specific procedure for it. You know, none of them follow the same procedure. They all have different sounds just because I approached it differently. Some of them I even approached to the point where like I already had the beat and
Yeah.
then I wrote to it. Like Control, I already had that beat and I was like, I want to write a song to this
Okay.
beat and then start from scratch. There's a whole lot of different procedures. The challenge I guess now is to keep coming up with different ways.
So as you're saying that, like you have, for lack of a better term, or just I guess categorizing, you have three topics, but not three topics, but three procedures.
Unlimited procedures.
But the way I see it is,
So far.
it's unlimited to produce it, but like three major spots where it could be is, you have the song written,
Yep.
you match the beat, right? You have writing a song, producing the beat. You're making them both at the same time, so you're building them together.
Yep.
And then you have the beat. You write the song to it, right? So that's just laying.
But
the
there's
term.
more
That's
too.
making-
Like
that's
somebody
making-
else can also write for you.
Correct.
You know? And then there's so many other ways to do. I'm not that anybody wrote for me, but like there's so many other ways.
Yeah,
to
but
do
I'm
it.
saying like not as in like I guess not someone writing for you. It's just the structure of it. Like
Yeah, in
songs
terms of
complete,
categories.
Yeah. So like just like that. But even though like the possibilities are endless because you can make any combination in the English
Yeah,
language.
you can go half and half. You can make half a beat, then write half of it, then like go and make the other half, and then
Yeah.
you know, or you can just straight up like make only a beat
Correct.
or an acapella. You know,
Or like the
so
same
many,
as what Queen did is have basically 3 songs in one song.
3 songs in one song.
And you just
like-
have it's always there, like it blends together. Or like Daft Punk has in one of their album where each song bleeds into the next.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no
And
pause.
Daft Punk is a great inspiration of mine. Like they like in terms of originality. Like when I would listen to their music, I was like, whoa. Like,
What is it?
was
I
always
think
well.
my favorite album was Interstellar. I think that was it Interstellar?
They're all
trying to
good.
remember.
They all had. Yeah,
There you go.
Homework was the album, right?
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like the whole movie was the album.
movie was the
like,
album.
Like if you listen to the album or watch the visuals, you see the whole movie.
Yeah, but
Which-
who knows? Like maybe the video could have inspired the song.
That's why, like-
it's crazy how.
and that's
you know?
why, like, even though I'm just talking about the making of the music as of right now. When you decide to put the visuals, is it going to be animated? Is it going to be live action? Is it
Yeah.
going to be now in those? Is going to be a drama, a comedy? Like it all depends on what it would be. And then once again, the infinite amount of possibilities just from writing and producing has now even increased even more because now you have the visual aspect
Yeah.
behind it.
It's there's so many possibilities. And I think a lot-
I'm sorry for interrupting. Which actually excites me for the simple fact, back in high school, how you were a huge visual arts type of
Yeah.
person. I'm waiting for something to come out, a music video or something. I'm like, because I know for the fact you're gonna put time to it.
Oh yeah, the
Right.
first video I actually I shot with somebody, but a lot of it was like my concept, and we planned and
Yeah.
we edited together. We did a lot of stuff together. So that's something in itself where like it's like cool. That's a creation of it's a creation from start of the song, from the artist. Like it's all one. It's not like it was brought somewhere else. I think that's a lot of like, just to kind of cut that, cut this point in short. Like what people do is they'll pigeonhole themselves into thinking, or that's how they make their songs. Like a lot of, I explain to some artists, no surprise, like they'll come in and they'll have one sort of way of making a song. They found the beat, they write to it. And then they ask why it doesn't come out different. How do you make different music? Why isn't this picking? Why is this? Or why why are they not reaching that sound or a different sound that they want? I personally had to go into another field to figure out, like, you have to just come with it at a different approach, a real different approach, not just the thought of a different approach. Like, oh, well, I'm thinking about a different, like, you got to actually think about it. Like, you got to go into, if you've been going into the studio and you've been always picking the beat first and then doing that, maybe you should go into the studio and freestyle this time, Or maybe you should go into the studio without a beat, freestyle it into the mic, and then bring that home with you and find a beat now. Maybe you should go and just, try things that are differently, like move differently,
Gotcha. My question, I know we've had previous artists, producers and whatnot on here, and I always like to ask them, like, with the selling of the beat, like, do you ever just sell the beat, or you prefer producing the entirety?
I tell my artists that I prefer them coming into the studio and producing with me. I mean, I do have a catalog of over 300, 400 beats.
Correct.
They could always look through it. But personally, like, it's more personable to you. I mean, of course, I could hear a beat, connect with it. That's awesome. But being there for the process of the creation, like, your song comes out different too.
Correct.
It's just a whole
Like,
different process.
have you ever sold a beat and you're like, all right, it's one of your favorite beats, and I not to name names, but then all of a sudden you're like, they've had you know them as an artist, like they have more potential with the beat, but the producer or the engineer didn't do it well.
Well, I'm always a producer engineer for the stuff that I've made.
Well, but I'm saying for like the 300, 400, the 300 song catalog you have, right?
Oh.
Like whenever someone gets it, like you know them and the potential they have with that beat.
Yeah.
But then they end up, like, I don't know who it is or what it is, the way they mix it, or the way they put everything together.
Well, I already like know that's gonna happen because a lot of my artists are new.
Yeah.
They're still growing. So when I make the beat and I know it's like, oh, this is a hot beat, I'm gonna do my best to get him to do his best on it, and that's all that matters to me.
Gotcha.
It really is. A new artist that's pretty dope right now too. Like, he's doing his thing. He's been consistently moving. I'm gonna shout him out. His name's Leo the Real. He started with me. Even Bugs Boogie, like literally started with me last year in August, and he's an amazing artist.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing from his first song to now. It's like the progress of growth, but knowing that it's gonna be progress is like, I already know. Like, I prepare myself for that. So I never really think like, oh, this guy, or I could have done better. I should have given it to somebody else, or like, he could have. I never think he could have done better. I always think, as long as you do your best, we're gonna do better on the next one, because you're gonna have to make more. You're gonna have to make more songs. You want to be a musician, you want to do it for life, right?
Yeah.
So like,
which is actually crazy. Like, if you think about it, like just that year span, right? You see the dramatic difference, like from when he started to now. Even then, that's a fairly quick turnaround to make that type of connection with somebody in a studio. And like, once again, even though you knew him from school, so that build from it, a lot of people can't do that. A lot of producers, engineers can't. They want to check. They just want, like, all right, I'm gonna make you sound good today, but in a week, do you still think it sounds good?
Yeah, that's my big, and I'd say this too to all my artists. I don't talk about play value. I talk about replay value. What's gonna make you want to play the song again? Right? And the only thing that's going to make you want to play the song again, or to your fans, is if your fans see that you're progressing, your fans see that you're becoming a better person, your fans see that you're a good person, they like you, they're personable with you. Shout out Leo the Real, bro, because he's been coming up. He's been making beats with me for a little while. He just released a song yesterday. It's called Regrets on SoundCloud. And you could see that, like, from his first song up to now, there's a great progress in there. Like, there's so many more artists too that come into my studio that are brand new, and I feel like they're comfortable with me because I'm ready to take brand new clients. I'm ready to be your friend. I'm ready to tell you, you know what I mean, what you got to do that's better, what you got to do that's worse.
Honestly, what hurts me when I listen to new artists is, or to you, like 5-10 years down the road, it hurts when someone becomes stagnant.
Yeah.
I'm like, now you've pigeonholed yourself
Yeah.
at this point. Like now you're just sticking to the same beat.
And I think that's what, like I said before, the approach. If they don't come up with a new approach, you're gonna stay stuck. You're never gonna make the approach might not come into music. We talked about rock climbing.
Correct.
That's a whole mindset in itself. Like maybe you have to go experience something to help you understand like your approach. That can go with anything, you know. You could maybe come up with a new career today or tomorrow, and you're gonna have to come up with more approaches at one point.
Correct.
You know. Yeah.
That's why the saying is simple. One of my favorite sayings is there's 100 ways to skin a cat. Like you can literally do the same thing 100 different ways and have 100 different perspectives.
100%.
And it's beautiful that you can do that. But a lot of people, once again, going back to how we started all of this, is the fear of it. I'm like, you have a big
Fear of failure.
Yeah, I'm like,
This worked for me, so I'm never gonna try it a different way.
Yeah,
It
like-
worked for you one time, and not that it only worked for you one time. They might love this, but there's more to you.
correct.
There's more to you that can make this even better. You know, like there's more to this world.
Definitely. Like, the way I see it is if you're into music and you get yourself a producer and all of a sudden you don't like your music at all. You think your whole album sucks because like even though the money you spent into it and you think like it should have been better for what you spent in, like go elsewhere. You can always just there's hundreds of producers,
Don't give
thousands
up.
of producers.
Yeah,
Like
don't stop.
like maybe one a producer who engineers everything slightly different. All of a sudden you're like, all right, this sounds so much better.
He brought it up earlier. Like he said that there was his brother was tired of his song.
Yeah.
And it's not even like it's his. It might not even be his. He might have had the craziest bar.
Mm-hmm.
He might have heard it a whole bunch of times himself. But at the end of the day, like somebody else can take it somewhere greater.
Correct.
You know, like the right producer, the right engineer can really make the difference. So
Mhm.
that could have been the approach that he might have had to take. You know, like there's a whole, or maybe it could have been something else completely. But like that could have been it. You got to try them. You got to try this.
Mhm.
And if it wasn't it now, it could be it in the future. And since you experienced it before, you're like, okay, I already know the answer to it. Let me just bring this in there.
Correct.
You know, like if I want to ever make a song like Over You again, I know how I approached it.
Correct.
I even know what kind of instrument I can go as specific as using the same instruments. You
Yeah.
know, like, but you know, it's all trial and error.
If you want, I guess. The guy on the chat's actually asking, Leo, what was his name?
Leo the Real on SoundCloud.
Leo the Real.
He just came out with a song called Regrets. Like, and you could see, like, it's like, okay, like the growth. Leo the Real.
Okay, yeah. So, definitely. And also Bugs, right? What is it?
Bugs,
I forgot his thing.
I think it's, because I love these guys too much.
Isn't it the real NYC Bugs?
Yeah, that's his Instagram though, right?
I think that's the gram.
If you guys check out on my Instagram, it's called Mad Smooth Mixes. Like all my artists are there, and they have posts. I post about them all the time, and you could find all of them on there, every single one of them. So Bugs has a link tree. It looks like he has one song out now, The Real Bugs NYC. BUGZ is his name on everywhere else. BUGZ. Crime is a single out now. Like there's so many. Leo the Real just came out with the Regrets. Just check out Mad Smooth Mixes, man. There's so many artists on here. You just literally just have a ball. We got Lido. He's awesome. He's from Reno, Nevada.
Okay.
Ain't that
so
Lido?
I know you.
It's crazy.
Someone else down in Florida, right, with you. With the
That's my partner, Mike.
Okay.
Mike is the other half of Mad Smooth. So Mad Smooth is Mike and Daryl.
Okay.
Soulful musicians out on their hustle.
So my question: have you worked with? Hopefully, people can learn from him too. So Bueno.
I don't know who that is.
He graduated
Maybe
with
my
me.
face.
He I forgot his Nana.
Nana?
You remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
have you
remember
worked with him?
No, I didn't even know. I don't think I even spoke to him much in school, so I had no idea.
Yeah, no, like he
No
does music
idea.
as well, but he's down in Florida. That's why I was wondering, I'm like, if you guys were able to link up, see how it is. But
yet.
let's get to your music real quick so
Yeah,
at least
sure.
we can hear it.
Dope. All right, cool. Let's play over you.
After this, what song would you put on?
I always ask you what you in the mood for. Like, I like let's look at my track list.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
You go around talking to the ones that hurt you
I would either go with Wallet or Herself. Those seem like to be the most popular.
I know I won't control her. I just wanna love her. They say I'm going insane. I can't stop thinking of you. Can't stop thinking of you. Can't stop thinking of you. Telling me I do too much shows that you don't wanna be with me, it's obvious. Me knowing that I tried, had a feeling that I left inside. Things I do just to be with you. Now tell me, is it true? Does it take two? I'll get up and move with or without you. No place to hide, nowhere to go. Need somewhere to get loose and change up the mood. You know I got you, but I want you hit the floor when I heard that. You go around talking to the ones that hurt you most. And I know.
I'm not gonna lie. I would want to see an animated music video for this.
Right?
This is an
Guess
anim-
what? That's the exact idea.
Is it?
The
Oh my
exact
God, like the-
idea. I already have the exact play out
Do
and
you?
everything.
The visual I have for it, especially
Yeah.
knowing your like type
I don't
of
want to
work.
get rid. I don't want to show the idea, but that's exactly like it's funny.
Yeah.
You're like, you know what? I'm like, oh, yeah,
That's
nailed
the thing,
that,
like
that's the exact idea. I can't wait till that comes out. But honestly, animated music videos are really expensive, bro.
That's the issue,
So
right?
if you guys know any animators that do it for like, you know, a independent person's price, like I'm down. But other than that, I'm still looking and I'm saving.
I know
like,
a couple people
it's
who
hard.
do from my graphic design class. I also took animation classes. I've met a couple. Like I'll talk to them and see. Hopefully they're still around doing that. Also, a kid I graduated high school with does it. So I'll talk to him. I'll see what's up.
I would be down. I would be 100% down.
Yeah,
I can't. That's like
That-
my
I
next
don't
plan.
know why. Like it just hit me while listening. I'm like, it has to be animated. I cannot see that live. It has to
I
be
know,
animated.
I know, dude. It's crazy because you hit the nail right on the head. I was like, you said, well, I can't keep it a secret now. Like,
My bad for that. It's just what I would want.
Shout out Sif, bro. He went to college with me. He's from Pennsylvania. He's from Philly.
Okay.
Dope. He's another producer. He produces for himself. He mixes for himself.
That's what's up.
I don't think he mixes for himself, but he produces for himself. So look him up. A fun song.
No time for pleasantries. Presidential suite, you swear I'm writing for the embassy. Not the one to boast about the money or the equity, but lately I've been winning, so it tends to happen regularly. Suave boy, white boy, I'm skinny jean faded. Move like Michael, I'm Billie Jean's favorite. Never thought that heaven would be really this spacious until I died and rose again. I'm really this stainless. Yeah, I'm steady moving on to better moves. I hear them talking racket, tripping off they tennis shoes. I kill a show, pay them just to clean the residue. Take they women to the tour bus and start to execute. They shock, electrocute. Got me looking at my life like what's left to do. The goat's here, it's a petting zoo. Married to the money, pockets looking like some wedding suit.
A couple bands up in my pocket. pocket. I'ma throw away my wallet, yeah. I break the bank, you know ID for the deposit. If she tells me that she want it, I'ma copy, yeah. A couple bands up in my pocket. I'ma throw away my wallet, yeah. I break the bank, you know ID for the deposit. If they ask me for it, tell them I forgot it, yeah. Everybody's tempted, getting lured by their desires. Looking for redemption, have them walking towards the choir. Never feel respected, convoluted towards rejection. Not what you expected, so you mark it off your checklist. See, I'm gentle with my presence, cashing on my checks and spending money left and right. Yeah, they call me ambidextrous. Watch me pull up to the studio and I ain't even right yet. Take a girl up on a trip, round the city through the night. I adore being born. Have your niggas calling, hoping foolishly that jewelry is saved from the storm. You're externally unheard of, now you feel the quiet storm. My eternity means more to me, ain't no need to conform. Yeah, I can't stay adjacent to those who've been complacent. So for those who roll with me through worse, my place is vacant. Putting all the pieces together, prefabrication. Live my life as the creator, what's the situation, yeah.
Couple bands up in my pocket. I might throw away my wallet, yeah. I break the bank, you know I do for the deposit. If she tells me that she wants it, then I cop it, okay. A couple bands up in my pocket. I might throw away my wallet, yeah. I break the bank, you know I do for the deposit. If they ask me for it, tell them I forgot it, okay. Oh, set. Who is she? Oh, yeah. No, let her. I said it before. Coming for more. 'Cause I ain't going broke again. That ain't how it's supposed to end, no.
Speaking of procedure, that was an interesting one.
Was it?
Yeah, that's like, I mean, I'm sure artists kind of understand. When you bounce it back and forth between each other.
Yeah.
We were in his bedroom. We just started, we made the beat together too. That's a whole nother procedure,
That's
you know?
what's up.
And we just started bouncing the idea of back and forth. He said a couple bands in the pocket. I was like, I'm going to throw away my wallet. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Here's my, like that, I can see live. Like that, I would want to see live, like a small light show behind it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it's just the way my mind works for it with
I
the
would
song,
love to
like the
hear it, man.
visual with it. Actually, just to shout him out, like my boy, like the High Cream Cups, right? Like
nice.
he made this. I was like, cool. Like I like it. Like I was actually once again fortunate enough to be the first one to put on his clothes.
Word.
I'm like, boom.
Boom.
Apparently, I
Yo.
like being number one for everything.
Jack, yo, send him your stuff, everybody. Like, for real.
Do it. Just tell me what it is. If I can help, I can help for sure.
Word, I'm sorry.
Right. My thing is like for something like for his thing, like for his article clothing, since it's ice cream, right? I'm like I asked like I want this in pink now. I want to have strawberries.
Yeah, word.
Like I want.
Yeah,
Like it's
excel
phenomenal.
the
Like,
idea.
same thing with the visuals. I will talk about it without it. It's like I'm gonna probably go back and listen to the whole album on the way home, and I'm gonna come up with. Well, I don't want to come up with, but I'll tell you what I feel
let
would
me
be,
know, man.
what would be good with these.
Yeah,
like I
you
told you,
let
like
me know.
as you said, I hit the nail on the thing for over you.
Yeah,
Like, it was
nail on the
right
head
on.
there.
Right? So I'm like, maybe there's other ideas that you're thinking about, and all of a sudden I'm like, if I bring it up and I say it, and like, oh, you know what, you were thinking about it, but that's why like, I guess your music resonated with me for the simple fact like it just hit me there. Like how many other people are gonna listen to Over You and the first thing they're gonna think like it has to be an animated music video,
100%.
otherwise it's not the same.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I know.
you've legitimately painted a picture so far with the two songs that we put on. I already saw one for the music video, and I see one I want to watch live.
Cool.
I would definitely want to see that song live if they can. Hopefully, like you said, the next event that you host.
Yeah,
like,
well, I gotta make sure he comes by because that's a hard song to do without the other
that's
artists.
the thing.
He's from Philly. I invited him to the first one, but it was like maybe it was too last minute. But at the end of the day, it's we're not very close.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully the next one. You know,
I'm
hype
just
him up.
hoping. I'm just
Or
hoping.
one day we'll do a big show. He comes by. You know?
That's what I'm hoping for. Like, year 2, 3, 4, whatever it is.
Whatever
like,
it takes, I'm gonna be here. you
Like
know?
I'm waiting, not even waiting. Like I'll tell you right now. Hopefully I'll be the first one to buy the ticket. Like I want to be.
You will,
I want to
bro.
be
Say
that type that like the first time you're on a stage that's 6 feet tall where I'm legitimately looking up at you. I would want to
You're gonna
be.
be on stage with me. That's my type of energy, man.
Bro,
Like,
I
you know, like we're trying to build it for ourselves, by ourselves. That way we can do things with ourselves.
Like,
Like
even
do it
even
right
all right,
now.
even if I'm on stage, I want that ticket say 0000001. That's
Yeah,
what I
word,
want.
yeah.
That's the type of guy I am. Like if I could be the first one, like
Word.
let me help out, like boom. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to be like, regardless if I'm on stage or
Word,
not.
word.
Like anything. Like with this, like he played around. I'm like,
I'm with that.
right. He's like, since I'm wearing it, he's like, oh, eventually you're gonna get to the point where I pay you to wear it. I'm like, don't worry about the future. Like right now this is you. You're hustling
Yeah,
for it.
word.
Same thing with the album. Like you're hustling. Every time an album comes out, like I have all your songs. I had your first album. Actually, when you hit me up about telling me about your release party, I'm like, yo, what happened to your first album?
Yeah, I know you asked me.
Like
And
I
that's-
had it.
It got taken. I wanted to do the after it got taken down after a year. Like I didn't put it back up because I wanted to mix it again.
Yeah.
I learned so much. I learn every year, so I want to touch it up, which is gonna be out within a month or two. Hopefully,
Okay.
I'm thinking in November just because like that's my birthday month. and
Okay.
Just to have some fun for it, I'll release it like right around that time. But go and check that one out. If you downloaded it already and you guys bought it last year, like I highly appreciate it. If you guys came to the first album release party, highly appreciated. But it's gonna be re-released, and there's gonna be a lot of features coming out after that. A lot of features. I have features out now too. You can look up Wells Breezy, Breezy Boy Wells. Wells Breezy is his name on his name was on not SoundCloud, but Spotify and things like that.
Yeah.
And then you can look up more features on SoundCloud.
I know you have what is that one? Dangerous? No, that's
Dangerous is on this album.
okay. It's on this album.
Yeah. There's a song called Dangerous was the single for this album, and this single became the album in a way.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm gonna keep this energy going. It's like poppy, but a little bit of hip hop R&B in it, and I just kept
Gotcha.
kind of moving. But yeah, that next album release is gonna be another re-release, so
Yeah.
look out for that.
Actually, like I said, I'm constantly always waiting on it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So,
Yeah.
unfortunately, we have to cut this. As always, actually, thank you for coming by.
Anytime,
I have to say,
bro. You let
like,
me
I
know,
really
man.
appreciate you
Yo,
coming by.
I love this. Like, I love coming by. I love seeing my friends.
Right.
Like, come on, man. This is awesome.
Right, it's the rise and grind of all of us. This is
Yeah,
how it
right.
is. Like literally, the graduating class. Like Richard Park apparently is producing a lot of people.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Um,
artists. It's crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of just not only music, but like artists in general.
Yeah, for real. But as always, we're gonna be here at Sundays, 11 a.m. Normally, the rest of the crew's here. Kind of glad they're not, so we had this one-on-one reconnection. But
Alright.
we're not gonna tell them that.
Don't tell me.
All right. Catch us on the Instagram at the Real Shit Talker, Spotify, and Anchor. You can have us. As Matt's saying, next week we have some announcements we're gonna do. Big ones, little ones, all shapes and sizes. We have it. All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys for having me once
The hell
again.
is this?